have to walk the groceries to the door. And, I mean, the building is huge. So it's a long walk. But if they're willing to come down, then we'll be able to get some food back to them. And hopefully that goes down. So then on Thursday, the day after tomorrow, at 7 p.m., I would need a group of volunteers who would be willing to come with us to the church to bag up some of the dry goods. And then we're going to put the meat and eggs and stuff and milk, we're going to put that in last. We got a refrigerated truck to store the stuff and keep it fresh. And we'll pull the truck up out here, set up tables out here, and la-di-da. I feel like I'm talking too much, but is that making sense to people? Do you get what I'm talking about? And we can use you. So we can use you if you can make it. Tim, you might still be in recovery, but at least I want you to know what we're trying to do.
Yeah, no, I know. I have a 10-pound limit right now, so wouldn't be very good help for you.
Yeah, but Tim, you look great, man. You look great. Yeah, and so let me tell y'all something. I don't know who all we got on. We're still talking. Lewis is on, and hey, Lou, what's up, Lou? I can't hear him right now, but Lou, you there?
He's muted.
He's trying to get there. Lou, you there? Okay. Well, listen, a couple things, man, that have happened in these last weeks. So much has gone down. I want to just talk a bit about the notion I can't breathe. What a profound 3 words those are. I can't breathe. I just want to visit that for a minute because it's taken on a lot of things in my mind, not just what we saw, although that was certainly riveting, but in little ways that you don't realize you can't breathe. So I just want to throw that concept out there tonight for a point of reference. And then later, as we continue to get into the meeting later, I want to talk about after the fire goes out. So that's where I want to end up, talking about after the fire goes out. What do you do when the fire stops burning? But let's ease our way there. And so what we'll do is start in some ways with the acts of faith. Hey, Rhea, why don't you check in right there? You've been so studious. What's going on? Give us a check-in.
Oh, I'm just, learning patience, waiting for my place or somebody, for somebody to wake up down there at the, you know, they sleep down there at the housing authority, and I want to go wake them up, bring a rooster or something, you know. But I'm just being patient on that, and you know, like you said, I'm a car owner, so I'm repairing some things on Miss Seville, and just trying to do my best, to do what I need to do to go further.
That's right. Well, that's a good message. Let me read the acts of faith for today, June 9th. It says, if rain doesn't fall, corn does not grow. Every farmer knows a good hard rain is needed to make a healthy crop. It will strengthen the roots, flatten the stalks, and produce a healthy yield. A responsible farmer prepares for rain. He prepares the field by clearing away all remnants of past crops. He irrigates the field so that the rain can run off. He carefully guards his crop to keep away the birds and the insects. Through it all, he has faith in his ability as a farmer, knowing he is doing all that he can do. Mhm. Our lives are much like a field of corn. Our challenges are the rain. We don't mind planting the seeds, working the field, or planning for the harvest, but we have a tendency to complain about the rain. Woo! If we focus our mind on the goal, we are putting all of our raincoat and boots. If we cleanse ourselves of negative emotions, we are covered by an umbrella of strength. If we keep faith in ourselves, regardless of what others say, we have all we need to weather the storm. The harvest I reap is measured by the attitudes that I cultivate. Boy, that's good right there. Somebody got a comment? Uh, Rhea, is that you got the background noise? Somebody got background noise going on over there? I see Mike Liddell is
Not me.
on. Wayne, are you on there? Cut that off.
But somebody, they need to mute themselves.
Lewis, let's see. All right, so we looks like it's out now.
Yeah.
If any,
What's happening?
Okay, Pop is gone. The ringing is gone. Pop is
It's
gone.
like every time he mutes somebody, he like his thing just like drop off.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. We need to mute ourselves though, man. If we
Yep.
got a lot going on in the background, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We already know this stuff already, so we should have to, keep, going over it.
Yep. Yep. I'm mute unless I have to talk.
Yeah.
I mean,
Larry here.
Me too. Me too.
Larry Harris here.
I guess they're working it out.
Jerome, you muted.
Hey y'all.
There you are.
Hey.
What's going on?
I know Duvall was gonna say something.
So y'all know, 15 of us went down there Monday. We met in St. Paul and got tested, for coronavirus. There's
Mm-hmm.
around 15 of us out there, and we all got tested. Actually, we won't know the results until probably tomorrow. But man, it was cool to go out there and get tested. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. If y'all haven't, it only take they just take a swab and just go right inside your jaw with it. I mean, they go down your tongue with it.
Oh, I didn't do
Uh,
nothing.
That's it. It just takes like 5 seconds, man. You know what I'm saying? It's no discomfort or anything like that. And it just takes 5 seconds. And that's it, man. And we all was tested. We all was gone. We all was out of there. You know what I'm saying? It didn't take long at all.
Right.
And it was
Right.
it was 10 of us. It was 10 of us went down there and
Yeah.
got tested. We got our result back.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Duval, on that tip, that was 50, we had 15 that day. And I think yesterday, what Will is talking about, we had 12. So
Okay.
that's 25 of us so far, and we're going after another 15 for next
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
So, and Will, thank you for speaking on that, um, because being tested is an operational baseline. First, you have to rule out that you don't have it, and then you can maintain something. But if you don't have a baseline, then you're not maintaining necessarily anything. So it was real powerful. We're gonna call on the next 15 and see what we can do um, to get all of our pop guys tested. That is our goal. And then, as a matter of fact, some of the employer partners that we have that we had to talk to about letting our pop guy staff go, they're starting to test every one of their staff members as well.
Right.
So we're starting up something.
Right. Hey, Pop. Hey, Pop. Oh, he done got choked out again.
Look at this. Look at that. It was cooked real hard, man.
Yeah, he done. Yeah, Pop's done got. Yeah. Hey, what I like about the testing though is that it was a very low anxiety test. I've always been somewhat nervous and suspicious with these tests, you know what I'm saying? For good reason, you know what I'm saying? But, but this test didn't involve a needle or something like that. It wasn't nothing like that, man. It was just a cotton swab, you know what I'm saying? They took it straight out the pack, rub it on your tongue or the back of your throat, and that was it. So I felt kind of good about that. But I definitely recommend you guys being tested if you haven't already been tested for it.
Cornbread.
Um, so clearly we're having some technical stuff, and the storm is happening. I don't know if it's that, but I just want you to know that this is the latest report on COVID-19. I'm just following up on what Will was talking about from Minnesota. Health officials report 307 new COVID-19 cases and 20 more deaths. The state death toll has now surpassed 1,200. Um, many of them, um, many of the numbers have come from senior high-rise buildings. It's been ravishing, right? It's like a fire burning at the senior high-rise place, and the fire won't go out, and it's taking them seniors out of there. And now we're up to as many as in one particular nursing home out where Curtis was. They've had 100 deaths.
That happens, just go right back.
100 deaths. Are y'all hearing that? And so
Yeah, Pop.
anyway, yesterday, um, I'm out at the lake yesterday evening, and I get a call from Curtis Harris's daughter. Now you know how hard we've been trying to find Curtis, and some of us have been out to the nursing home that he's been in, and have tried to get we can't get in. I mean, nobody can get in. His daughter can't get in. But she called me yesterday evening and we had a good conversation. And then she gave me a number. She said, if you call this number right now, Curtis is going to answer. And man, I
Thank
was
you,
so,
Jesus.
I was so
Thank you, Lord.
excited. I'm so excited to dial the number, man. I was like a kid trying to, and man, Curtis answered the phone.
Oh
And
God, thank you.
man, I had a good hour.
Mm. Stop talking, Pop.
He keeps going in and out.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Doing blessed. How y'all
Doing
doing?
good.
This brother Calvin.
Hey,
This Larry Harris.
Hey, Larry.
Larry
Yeah,
Harris.
Pop,
All
you
right.
going in and out. You're hearing from now.
Everybody doing well?
Yeah, I'm blessed, man. Thank you, Jesus.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. That's great. Yeah, it's that weather. Hey. All right. Yeah, it's that weather. That's why the phone's acting up. Hello?
Yeah, man.
Okay, you still here?
Pop,
Okay.
did you hear?
Okay. Let me see. What is this? I'll get back.
I had to hang up and dial back in.
There you go.
Hey, so sorry, sorry. And so anyway, just so everybody that's online right now knows, Curtis Harris is amongst the living.
Amen.
It's a
Amen.
beautiful
Amen.
thing. It's a beautiful thing. We had a great conversation. I think right now we're trying to get him patched into this meeting. Well, let me tell you what he told me. Curtis did end up contracting COVID-19, and this is after he went into the nursing home. So when he went to the nursing home for help, and when he got to the nursing home was on fire. Say on fire.
On
On
fire.
Oh,
fire.
right. Mm-hmm.
The COVID-19 fire, it just keeps right on burning. And it's really trying to get our attention, and it won't stop burning until we turn around and pay attention to what it's saying. And that was the reason why we have been trying to get pop guys, male and female, tested so that we understand whether or not the fire is us.
Right. That's right.
And so for each and every one of the pop guys that went to get tested, I'm so grateful to you that you submitted to it. But we got really about another 20 men. Nate, are you on the phone?
Yes, sir, Pop.
Nate showed up. Now, this was after I left. Nate showed up and got tested. I was so proud of that because Nate has been so distant from us lately. He's been invisible. Nate, who was every Sunday, every Tuesday, Nate would be down in somewhere way out of town, like going towards St. Cloud, but he would still be at group every Tuesday. Do you remember that?
Yep, I remember that.
Hey, Will, you remember? And Nate would be driving, man, from I don't know how many miles he was putting on his little car, but he was trying to get to group because there was something in group that he needed to get. Dexter, I'm talking about Nate now. There was something in group that Nate
All
needed
right.
to get. But just recently, in the last, say, 4 months or so, 5 months maybe, Nate has become invisible from group. We can't get Nate. Nate won't show up for nothing. Don't be mad, Nate. I'm just telling the truth. You ain't no different than nobody else. You know what I mean? There are others of us have disappeared and come back. Dexter disappeared and
Yeah.
came back. And Emmett disappeared and came back. And the Samo did too. Rhea disappeared and came back. But Samo did too. Beside that, Duval disappeared and he came back. And some more did too.
Preach, Pop.
So what
I hear
we're
you, Pop.
saying is the idea that you coming back is a sign that you were missing something. There's a part of you that is here that you can't possess when you're out there where you're at by yourself. Now it came to my attention, Nate, that after I left and you guys ended up having a real powerful conversation at the testing site after you got tested. Do you want to tell us what that conversation was about?
Sure. And first, I want to start by saying is the group is always going to be a part of me, so I wouldn't say I disappeared from it. You know, I just wouldn't use that terminology. I would use I don't know the word for it right now, but I'm still a part of the group. It's always going to be a part of me.
All right.
So right now, the conversation was pretty much about balancing how to move with my family or how to move solo and when to move with my family at the same time. Like it's a wide category. I don't really I've it's difficult because I really don't have everything grasped around it right now.
Let me help you though, because now I
Somebody
know
got something going on.
when you left here, man, your family was intact. All three of y'all. What's going on?
Oh, my family is still intact. That hasn't changed.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. So what has changed? Mm-hmm. So let me just I'm gonna stop you right there. So look, man, do y'all hear what I'm saying? There's a fire. There's a fire burning, and we can't put it out.
All right.
Sometimes a fire will be burning at your house. Sometimes the fire is burning in your own heart, and you can't put it out. It just keeps burning, and if you don't to seek no help, if you don't reach out for nobody, come on now. Every one of us has gone through it, and we're gonna go through it again. But Nate, man, if you got a fire going on in your heart or inside of yourself, man, you got to get some water on that thing, baby. You got to come on, man, and get clean with this thing.
I hear you, Pop.
Well, I'm not trying to make you ashamed.
No, I'm not. There's
You know,
there's nothing to be ashamed about. It's just I'm just trying to find the right balance. That was the main thing of yesterday. The balance. How to find a balance and to move the way pretty much with my family, even though I'm a single unit at a certain time. Like I might want to get up at 7 o'clock, but my family don't wake up until 11 or 12. So, but I still feel like I need to make some type of movement around without my family while my family's at home. But I really don't want to leave the home without my family with me because that is my family unit. You get what I'm saying?
a little bit.
Somebody needs
Do
to
y'all hear?
mute something.
If we got a lot of background noise there, if y'all could figure out how to cut that down, that would be so helpful and respectful.
That's the rain because I'm in the shed. That's the only way I can get some quiet.
Okay, well, fight for your quiet
It's
then. So,
Larry.
hey, Larry Harris, listen at what
Okay,
I'm
how you
saying.
doing, Pop?
Hold on for 1 second. Let me see. I think I got Curtis Harris on the phone right now. Curtis, are you there?
I'm here, my brother.
Can y'all hear Curtis?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Curtis.
What's up, Curtis?
Hey,
Brother
Curtis.
Calvin.
Yeah.
Curtis Harris, y'all better give
man.
Curtis Harris a big round of applause right here, because
That's
come
right.
on now and
All
make
right.
him feel
All
love.
Yeah.
right,
Give
Brother
him a big
Harris.
hand. Give him a pop welcome. Give him a pop love right there. Curtis, what's happening?
Pop.
Tell us what's going on.
Nothing much. I just got through eating, and I'm trying to get my itinerary together for tomorrow, but I got appointments, at the clinics and stuff. So I'm staying together. Put it that way.
Wow.
Hey, God bless you, brother.
Yes, sir.
That's Calvin Washington from Mississippi.
Yes. I'm being all the time. I ain't got y'all.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm gonna tap in and let y'all know, man. I'm still thinking about y'all because y'all are part of me, and I can't change that.
Okay, well, hold on, Cal, while we catch up to Curtis here. Will, holler at Curtis real quick.
Hey, brother Curtis, what's going on, man?
How we doing,
Hey, man, you been incognito. Hey.
I've been isolated and took me off from the world, and y'all out there with all that excitement,
Hey, boy, we wasn't gonna give you no matches, no way. Whenever you get through.
Man, I was thinking about what you were saying about the guy that blew up the shop.
Right.
I was like, man, was it that serious? Boy, that was some drama.
Yeah. It was that serious, man. Duval,
Damn, that was some drama.
Duval and Geronimo and Kimbrough and the little pastor right next to the house. They went over there and tried to put the fire out, and the boy threatened them and said, "Man, what are you doing?"
Right.
Said, "Man, I'm getting ready to blow this building up."
He's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
Hi,
is
Calvin.
Mm.
Calvin Washington. Hi. How you doing there, Miss Loretta? I'm holding on. The best is yet to come. I do have on my camera. I have video of it. Was Pops talking about the fire, the beauty shop, the barber shop?
I think he's talking about the little restaurant. The
Yeah,
restaurant where we get our food from.
yeah. Mr. What is it?
Oh,
Barbecue?
Mr. Barbecue. Mr. Barbecue?
Yeah.
Because I got on film the barber shop from the time it started smoldering until it went down.
Wow. Which barbershop?
The one on
Yeah.
Broadway.
Oh, okay.
Hi,
The one
Calvin.
by the one by Turning
Hi.
Point?
It's Rhea.
Hey, Rhea. How you doing, Rhea?
Hi, Cal.
I'm blessed. I'm glad to hear y'all voice. Y'all blessed right along with me.
Yeah, I'm missing you.
I'm thinking hard, but I got to hold on to what I'm doing.
That's
He got
right.
me on this mission, and I got to see if I can get right so he can accomplish it.
That's right.
So we back now. I'm sorry, man. I don't know what it is, but we just have to work through it. But Curtis is still on, and Lolita, you gonna say something to him?
Hey, Mr. Harris.
Pop Mom, I miss her too.
Yeah.
I've been trying to
I got
find
to
you,
holler at my guy, man.
Mr. Harris. Mr. Mr. Harris. Hi. I tried to find you. I
All
didn't forget
right.
about you.
And
You
how
know
you
what I
been
said,
doing?
Shane?
He said, "How you
Yeah,
doing, Lolita?"
I still got a number. I might. I still got her number. I might give her a call. You know, soon as they
That's
free up.
right. Get a Pop Queen a call, child. Come
He
on, give
said,
me
"Get
a
a Pop
call.
Queen a call with the quickness."
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
So you
That's
know,
right. So,
go ahead.
I want to say hi to Pop.
Just be patient, Cal.
All right.
what's happening with Becky and Baba?
Now, Banky, he got real sick, man, real sick. He was in the hospital himself,
Yeah.
and
Oh wow.
he passed out. And the paramedics had to come and get him. And matter of fact, luckily, the guys, his roommates, were some good brothers, and they reacted well and got him some help. And like you, he had like a diabetic reaction where he got dehydrated to the point where it passed him out.
Right.
Then when they got him downtown, of course they want to test him for COVID-19. They suspect COVID, right?
Right.
He wanted to get out of there because they had him up there in the ward in Hennepin County where they got the COVID patients, and he heard too much hollering. And he told them, he said, "Man, I'm getting out of here."
Right.
And so he checked himself out against the doctor's wishes and went on home on his own volition. But he did take the test, and he was negative and stuff. So, but it was a touchy deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody else holler at Curtis.
Curtis, this is Larry Harris. Last time I seen you, you brought me home and gave me a blues CD. How you doing, brother?
Curtis said he want that
I
CD
love you with
back,
all
boy.
my heart. I love you with all my heart, brother. I really do. Yeah.
So Curtis, tell people what you're getting ready to do, when you're getting ready to come home, and what's happening.
Well, I should be home in about another 2 weeks.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And,
That's a good deal.
I bought me a brand new Yamaha keyboard. I'm gonna do some serious writing, music, and I ran into somebody who was, and I think you can appreciate this too, Shane. I knew this man 40 years ago, right?
Wow.
And we were young, and we was working with Operation Push, right?
Right. Over on 79th Street.
And all the one was down there on 48th.
Oh yeah, right. That's right.
Drive.
The original building.
Right, that's right.
And he's been there. He's Al Sharpton's, Jesse Jackson, and Cornel West's advisor. One of the
Okay.
advisors.
All right.
And he's got a couple of radio stations. He's got a school program where he's taking kids that are just coming out of the juvenile system. They gave him some land, so now he's got it's like a compound. It's like a campus. They stay on. They actually live on it, right?
Right.
But I'm just saying that to say that he's in some big production right about now, and he's doing some marvelous things. And I wanted to introduce him to us.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because he's got a very fluid connection with anything that's got to do with social. Yeah, he owns a church too. He's got a nice sized church. So,
okay.
Yeah, and I forgot that me and his brother we had met about 40 years ago, and how I come about it. This girl told me who he was, right? Mm-hmm. And it came back to me. I said, "Oh man, that's him."
Yeah.
So we it's a brother. In other words, he's in a good position to get us in a better position.
Well, Curtis, that's good news, man. And what about you now? When you leave the nursing facility, where will you be going?
I'm going right over there off Glenwood and
Right.
To that new complex. They got a what's this? Senior citizens building there, and from what I understand, it's the top of the line. You know, my daughter went over there and checked it out. She said this is okay. It's a subsistence living, in other words.
Assisted living, right. And Curtis, it is a nice place, man. I mean, and you know, it's soulful. It's a soulful place. You're gonna like that. And so listen, man, anything that we can do, you're gonna have to keep us in the loop now that you're feeling better. And I mean, any help you need, there's some of us that'll take a few minutes out and do the best we can. All right.
Now that you mentioned that, I do need some muscle from a couple of you brothers over there. Now, my furniture, you know, and stuff is still in my old apartment on 44th Avenue.
Right.
And I ain't got nobody but my daughter, you know, and she's okay with the packing of the boxes, but I got a queen size bed, a chester, a dresser, and a table, and a couch, you know, that has to be moved, you know. And I'd like to get a couple of you brothers to go over and do that, and I'm gonna pay you $20.
$20. Listen. Hey, Cal, you better get up here from Mississippi.
Yeah, I want to get in there, man. I have to be patient, though. I'm learning to be patient. Hey, Curtis, Mr. Curtis, I wish I was there to get my hand in there for you. But this is your brother Calvin. This Calvin, man, was in the nursing home with you.
Yeah. You remember you and Cal was out there in that nursing home out in St. Louis Park.
Yeah.
Y'all was turning that place out, and Curtis was chasing all them women, and we was almost.
The women were chasing Curtis. Curtis ain't know which way to go. Curtis and Calvin, I got to get out of here.
Hey, thank the Lord.
But good hearing for you, brother.
I thank the Lord that both of y'all got out there without a case and everything.
Oh yeah, man. I'm blessed, man. Hey, I'm just glad to hear the voice, man. We all was upset and didn't know which way to go, but now we understand.
Okay,
He's safe.
Good. Listen. While you're down there in Mississippi, man, there's a lot of history there, man. Get the history that you're right next to it. But Cal, we're gonna let you hold on for a minute. Curtis, we're gonna let you go for now. But everybody, give Curtis a pop gun on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Pop guy.
Pop guy.
All right, brother. We love you. We love you, man.
You know what I'm saying? I think we want to move that stuff out of there Friday.
Okay.
But I can help you Saturday.
They only need about maybe 2 or 3 brothers, but I can give $20 a piece. You know?
You don't have to give me a dime. I can help you only on Saturday.
Look. See that he got Saturday. He got some Saturday help, but we need some Friday help. But have her call me, and then we'll figure something out. All right. All right. Love you, man. Love you.
All right, Mr. Curtis.
All right. Yeah, that was great, man.
All right, Curtis.
That's great. That's real great.
Yes, indeed.
You all know we've been pressing in to trying to get a word in on Calvin and on Curtis. And man, I was so blessed when his daughter called me yesterday and to know he was all right. And he didn't tell you everything, man, but he went through it, man. He said he was having hallucinations. He didn't know where he was. He was lost, and then he kept hearing us in his spirit.
Amen.
Man, Brother Shane, I heard y'all's voices calling me. And he said, when I finally came to, I told my daughter, I said, call Brother Shane and the Pop Guys right away. And so, now, I mean, he's kind of, you can hear he sounds like himself.
Yeah.
He sounds strong. His voice strong.
Yeah, he do.
He went through something, man, and you know what I mean. And God bless him for it. Let's give him a big round of applause, though. Just some
yeah.
Nate, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here, Pop.
Did you just hear Curtis?
I heard him on. Yeah, I heard him on live. I really didn't get to hear
So
I
is
heard
that
you.
thing that Curtis going through, is that worse or more, or less than what you're going through? That's a rhetorical question. Don't answer. I'm just trying to show you something. That man, everybody's going through something, man. And you can't look, if you got a fire burning and you pour alcohol on it, what does the fire do?
It's gonna go out.
Burn
Get
deeper.
higher.
Well, I'm just telling the truth. And so we all have fires, and at this point, some of us have these smaller fires. They're still fires, but they're smaller
Yep.
ones. And now we've gotten to the point where we can put them out. Tim is over here now, had a fire in his heart. His heart wasn't working. His heart was on fire. He needed new arteries in his heart. And then he done
Wow.
lay down there and humbled himself and asked the doctors, can you put the fire out? Can you help? Can you get blood flowing through my arteries? Can you get the 6 chambers of my heart flowing
Yes,
blood again?
Lord.
Can you
Yes,
bring me
yes.
back? And
Bless
what is
him,
it that we
Lord.
need to
Bless
do
him. Bless
to
him in the
Nate,
name
to bring you back, to get you fired up about your own life? Right? You got to set the standard, man. If you got to get up, then get up and take care of your business and set a high example and let your family follow it. I'm just reading between your lines. But the truth of the matter is, nobody is anybody else's excuse. No, your family's not your excuse for your fire. Your fire is your fire. If you got a fire in your heart or a fire in your situation, it ain't nobody else's issue but yours. And you're going to have to put that fire out just the same way you started it up again. Otherwise, it's going to burn out of control, and a non-controlled fire will consume you.
Construction.
This leads me to my text for tonight. I'm sorry, but I got a scripture tonight from the book of Exodus. It's Moses is facing the burning bush. Moses, the murderer, who's run away from Egypt for killing one of his Egyptian brothers, and then hid his body. And then somebody witnessed his behavior and said, "Hey, man, you're the one that killed that boy." And he broke and ran from it. Watch this. It says, now Moses kept the flock for Jethro, that was his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he had laid the flock to the backside of the desert and came to the mountain of God. And an angel of the Lord appeared to Moses in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush. And he looked and beheld the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed. Say burning,
Burning.
but not consumed.
Was not
But not
consumed.
consumed.
This is great. It said Moses said, I will not turn aside. I will now turn aside and see this great sight. Why the bush is not burnt. Why, he said, why is the bush burning, but it's not consumed?
Right.
And then the Lord saw that he turned aside to see, and God said unto him, out of the midst of the burning bush, and said, Moses, here I am. No. Let me say what he said again. I told it to you wrong. He said, Nate Walker. Nate Walker, here I am. I am the fire, but I am not consumed.
Bless him, Lord.
Watch
No
this.
matter what the fire is burning, touch him,
Watch this
Lord.
now. Now, we didn't have fire on Lake Street. Somebody say Lake Street.
Lake
Street.
We got fire on Broadway. Somebody say Broadway.
Broadway.
Right. And while the fire was burning, it appeared that reason and purpose were connected to the fire. We could understand for a moment why fire had to burn. But the problem is that that particular fire consumed everything. The fire that was burning inside of you,
All right.
here's James Reason on. James Reason had a fire. It was burning in James's health. He was fighting for his health, been fighting through cancer, fighting through different things, fighting for his life, fighting for his job. The fire was burning, but the fire did not consume him. Each one of us have a fire burning, not individually and corporately. The fires that were burning on Broadway and on Lake Street, these were corporate fires, not individual ones. They were a response to a behavior that was so barbaric, so asinine, so terrible that there had to be some consequence, some form of expression, some medium of conversation, something that power would understand.
Wow.
The problem is that power is so consumed with itself. I want you to listen to this, Nate. It's so consumed with itself that it doesn't understand anything until you attack it at the place that it lives at. And now you see that the message of I can't breathe. Somebody say I can't breathe.
I
I
can't
can't
breathe.
breathe.
The
I
message
can't
of I
breathe.
can't breathe, it went all across the world. In London, they're saying the same thing. Listen, in Germany, they're saying the exact same thing. In Africa, they've been saying it for the longest, and they're still saying it. In Finland, these are where the Liberians have immigrated up into Finland, and they're hollering that they can't breathe. The fire is burning.
All over the world.
It's burning all over, but listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. What happens when those fires go out and you are left to deal with the idiosyncrasies of the fires that are burning in your own life, the ones that are burning in your own house, the ones that are burning right now in your own mind? What are we going to do now that those fires are out? What are we going to do with the fires that we had?
Wow.
Preach.
You know, some of us would like to be drinkers. Really, every one of us is not able to drink
That's right.
because when we put spirits on top of our womb, it starts a fire.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
And when that fire starts to burn, it begins to slowly burn up everything. You could tell me everything is all right, but if you got a fire going on and it's burning out of control, everything isn't all right.
Right.
Say that. Say
Right.
that.
Something has got to happen that you put out the individual fires in your life so that you could still get to the place of a good life in the midst of the corporate message that has been shared around the world. Oh, God.
All right, preach.
That's the wake up call.
We have got to the place where 9 of the city council members from Minneapolis, for those of you who live in Minneapolis or are familiar with it, 9 of those individuals have said they're willing to vote to disband the police because the fire has consumed so much. I mean, this is some major stuff right here.
Yeah.
The police union is being sued by the city and the state.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is the union is the blue wall. The union is the one that gets officers back on the job when they commit these kind of offenses, the same thing this guy has done. And they get them back on the job. They bring you back on the park police. They couch you there for 7 months. Then they bring you back out of the park police, put you right back on the regular police, and act like nothing ever happened. We are at a pivotal place in the world where this internalized racism, this intrinsic racism has created a fire that they cannot put out. And we play a role in that. I'll give you an example. I sent a letter today to the county commission, not the commissioner of correction, because correction has been as racist as anybody else.
Yep.
And so this is what we were saying, and others, we said it here in group, but others said it in other settings in protest. Why are we sending technical violators back to the penitentiary when they haven't committed any crime? And the brothers who keep going back are saying, I can't breathe.
All right.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And so my letter to him is to say, hey man, don't see this as something outside of your purview.
Uh-huh.
The fact of the matter is, this is what people have been saying to you the whole time you've been on board. I can't breathe. The people won't let me out. They keep putting their foot on my neck. I can't go down the street. I can't make a phone call. I can't get a job. You coming up in my workplace. I can't breathe. And that piece creates a fire. Now, to that end, I just found out today, I didn't know this, that the parole office over there on Hiawatha has been burnt down. Did y'all hear that?
Whoa.
Anybody hear that?
Really?
No.
Yeah. And I ain't here, but I'm gonna go check it out.
So,
I'm gonna check it out.
what that's saying is the I
Ooh-wee.
can't breathe message is moving, and people are now having to pay attention and deal with what the question was in the first place. I can't breathe. Get up off my neck. But wait a minute. The person on your neck might be you.
Come on, Pop. Preach, Pop.
Wait a minute. You up here, hee-hawing and feeling sorry for yourself. Take your own foot off your own neck, man.
Come on now.
Yep.
Come on, Pop. Preaching good for me.
You can breathe if you would just take your knee off your own neck and get up and be the man that you know you're supposed to be.
Come on now, Pop. Yeah,
That
come
ain't
on
got
now.
nothing to do with your woman. It ain't got nothing to do with your kids. It's got everything to do with you. And if you can't manage that fire right there, everything else around you is going to burn.
Preach.
Real.
Lord help us.
And so my message tonight is this. Who are we after those major fires have gone out? Are we able to put the fires out in our own lives, either collectively as a group or individually as people? We still have our own fires to put out. Lake Street is not burning right now, but it could be something burning over there at your house.
All right.
Yep.
West Broadway, it's just smoke right now, but what about over there at your house? What about if you think that now you can drink, smoke, take a bump, and it's gonna be all right?
No, it ain't.
Yeah, I don't hear nobody. You quiet though. Everybody's quiet though.
No, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work,
Yeah,
Pop.
because some of y'all here that's sitting online right now, you remember when you put that fire up there by your mouth. And you remember when you
That's
put it
right.
up there in your lips. And you remember when you put it up there in your gums. And you remember that
That's right.
fire that made you get up and go stick people up and do all kind of crazy things and sleep with people you would never sleep with and do things to other people
Okay.
you would never do because the fire was burning so bright in you.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
That's
Come on,
right.
tell it, Pop.
And now at this place now, that drama is going down for a minute, but you still got to deal with the fire burning in your own heart.
That's right.
Okay.
Woo, glory.
Go to group when I was down there. We all online together.
That's right.
I'm gonna tell you right now, you have to put on the example that you want your children to have and know. Otherwise, the same fires that started the other day will start in their lives as well. And the perpetrator of that fire is not intrinsic racism. It's your inability to do your job, to put the fire out in you long enough to keep your family from burning up too. I'll wait for all the amens to die down.
Amen.
Amen. I got to go with you on that one, Pop. Got to ride with that.
Yeah.
You got a daughter, you got a son, you got nephews and nieces, you got grandbabies, and they looking for leadership.
Yep.
That leadership can't be on fire with an inability to deal with its own issues. If you don't deal with your issues will deal with you.
You.
Yeah, they will. Yeah, they will. Tell the truth, Pop.
That's right.
So
That's right.
I just want to help you here tonight and help you understand something. We still have a great opportunity to be in service to ourselves first, and then in service to our community. We have a great opportunity. You got to be careful where your fight is at. You got to be careful about what fight you pick. And if you pick a fight, you want to win it. If you're not prepared to win the fight, then don't get in it. But if you get in the fight, you got to pick a fight that's winnable for you. You got to understand every fight is not your fight, but the one you pick, you got to win it.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you what they're doing to George Floyd, and this hurts me. And they had a black woman say this. I don't know, bless her heart. She said, George is not a nice person. And, he's a criminal. And he had meth in his body. And he had some drinks. Somebody say drinks.
Drink.
Yeah, he had some drinks. He's not a nice person. Let me just tell you something. Look right here. If the police would have had a dog, a German Shepherd, just a dog, and pinned the dog down and killed the dog, like he killed George, it would still have created a fire. So I don't want people to be blaming, putting fingers out and saying what he wasn't. I'm only trying to tell you, though, in certain situations, they will use your past situation to frame the fight that you're fighting. And you have to be careful that you don't allow yourself to get caught up in a fight you can't win. Now, at a certain point, the fire's out now. Now you got to get back to whatever it was you were supposed to be doing. And some of them same people that was acting like they was down, now they're going to disappear again and be gone again and, whatever else. And I believe something's good is going to come out of this. I really do. But at the end of the day, that fire is going to stop burning. And at the end of the day, you still are going to be faced with your own issues. At the end of the day, you still have to man up on your own stuff.
True.
Tell the truth.
Anyway, let me just calm down here for a second. Meanwhile, back at the office, I just want to open it up now. There's no comment. That's not work. That's not a good comment. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion here. Nobody is in judgment of nobody else here. Nobody's any better than anybody else. We all got little fires we got to put out, and some of us got some big ones and don't want to admit it. But I'm gonna open it up right now just for some comment amongst ourselves. So somebody else who's feeling something on their heart can go.
Well, this is Calvin. I want to speak because, like I say about the fire, I had a fire going and I didn't know how to deal with it fully. When I thought I was cheating the system, I called myself getting this medical marijuana, thinking that was helping me. But I realized that was only hurting me because it was sending me to another phase to want something else. So I had to cut that thing off with that with the medicine that the doctor was giving me, because that fire starts going up further and further. And I got to thinking, wait a minute, Calvin, you came up out of that world, man. You don't need this. And I am, doing better now that I done left a lot of things that I had to let go because it was burning me and it was taking me down. But I want to say this here. I stayed on the path, though. And by me staying on the path, I'm going to be down here, but I got something from there that I'm trying to bring here. Even when we do this march, I'm going to have my pop shirt on, representing Minnesota.
Right.
Letting it be known that this pop thing is popping off everywhere.
Amen.
We just got to remember one thing. Man. I got to change. I can't do what I used to do. And I got my church praying for me to save my soul from going back to that world, man. And I'm going to church. And this is the only way to make it through this thing. You got to give up some stuff. And I'm giving up all the stuff that I know that's going to hold me back. And I want y'all to keep me in prayer, too, because I'm too far from y'all. But I'm going to do what I need to do for to live a good life. And the good life is being able to go out here and protest, being able to go out here and vote, being able to be standing for something when I thought I wasn't nothing. But now I am something because these people look at my car and they look at my license plate and they thinking, this man was in Minnesota.
Right.
And I think I could have been George, but George saved me. He sent me on the path. I just got to stay on this path because he want me to do what's right. And as I'm on this path, man, y'all just hold me up and keep me in prayer, man. Because I can make it. I can make it. Pop, you gave me some knowledge and some wisdom that carried me to another level. Right. I just need y'all to hold in there with me.
Yeah. Somebody give Cal some feedback and go on in.
Cal,
Yeah, this
Jim Robinson,
Go ahead.
I'm glad you're in Mississippi and I'm glad you're doing well. I missed you too, so I just wanted to congratulate you on. I'll stand with you no matter what. I'll be your friend.
Tim.
That's Tim. Yeah, that's Tim. Way to go, Tim. That's a good word. Somebody else jump in.
Well, hey Calvin, what's up? This is Dex. What's up, Calvin? This is Dex, man. You know me and you rode together a long way and Lionel Lakes and all that, and you know you fought to get in this pop group. They wouldn't let you get in here, but you never gave up. You finally got to the group, and we came a long way together, man. You're a good brother, man. Now, and I love you.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, that's good.
Hey, Cam.
Go ahead, jump in.
This is Willie, man. Love you, bro. And
all right, Willie.
And yo, man, I want you to know, brother, that you know, you're living a good life, man. You're living it now. You know what I'm saying? You're living it, brother, and you know, it's never too late for us to start winning. You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying? And you know what? And you're winning now. So, you know, rejoice, Calvin. Rejoice. You know what I'm saying?
This is tears of joy, man. Thank y'all. I love y'all, man.
Yeah. Hey, Will, I like what Will said. He said, man, rejoice, live in it. Yeah, I like that. I like it. Pastor Will is speaking up there. Geronimo looked like he got his son with him tonight. That's a pretty good visual, man, to see your boy sitting next to you. Is that him?
Yeah, it is. That's Geronimo.
That's little Geronimo?
Big Geronimo.
Let's give little Geronimo a pop guy on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Pop guy.
Yeah. Look like little Geronimo's driving and got his license and everything, and
He's
that's
driving the
beautiful.
Beamer. He's driving the Beamer.
Oh, he's driving the Beamer, the Black Panther. That's beautiful, man. Well, raise him up. Raise him up. Put your fires out, and then help him with his.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Somebody else jump in.
Yeah, I got.
This is Larry. This is Larry, and I was going. This is Larry. When I was in the darkness, see, because God started with darkness anyway. This is what I heard. God started with the darkness, and then I cried out. You know, because I just couldn't take it no more. You know, I was almost dying, and then I cried out to him, and you know what? He brought me out of it. He brought me out. It wasn't nothing that I did besides cry out. And when I cried out, he reached out. Come on, son, I've been waiting for you anyway. And, you know, and he just rescued me. You know, just like Lazarus. He called him out the cave, and I told him, if you call Lazarus out, you can call me out. And guess what? He called me out. You know, he called me out. And you know what? I'm back here today. It's not what I did besides to cry out. to cry out for help.
Oh, Wayne.
And he reached my hand out, and he took my hand and led me where he wanted to lead me.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing I could see was darkness. But then you know what? The light started shining through. It broke. It was you got a breakthrough. It's coming. It's coming. Just bear in there, hang in there. It's coming. And that's what happened. And then you know what? I stopped been reaching out to Pop. Pop's been reaching out to me. He said, "I got you. Just do what you got to do. Go in there and sit down and be quiet. Do what you got to do." And I did exactly that. And guess what? Help is there. Help been all around. You know, but you got to put it down. You got to put it down.
Give Larry a little dap there, boy. Larry, you doing all right?
Yeah.
Hey Jim, how you doing, man? Give us a check-in on you.
It's all good, man. I was out looking at some rental properties today, trying to see if I can get some things going in that direction.
Right.
Feeling pretty good. All that's on balance, so just trying to keep in that direction. You know, I just wanted to. I was listening to Cal. I remember when we used to be in the same room over there at your headquarters, Brother Shane, and Cal, one thing about him, when he chooses a direction, he should know by now that, you know, once he gets momentum in whichever, it could be good or bad, but let's keep it on the good side, you know, because he got momentum every time he gets momentum, he has some breakthroughs and things start happening. So he just has to stay on that sort of path where he's on the positive side of things, making choices and gaining momentum, and the force of God to come behind him. You know, I recognize and say the same thing about my own efforts. You know, every time I gain some momentum in the right direction, that's worth making some achievement. That then you know I just have to keep on pushing, and I think that's true with all of us that have like sort of a Christian life and believe in Christ as well as each other. You know.
Yeah, that's it. And Jim, I'm so glad to hear, you know, that you're looking at rental property, because you know that's a good next step for you. And you know, you still got a lot of life in you, brother. So and the rental property right now is hard to come by. You know what I mean? And guys are always needing, not just guys, but people are always needing a spot. You know, and so it's a good
No,
business.
it's good. I was just
You can get in. If you can get into it, it's a good business
I
to get
usually have
into.
a
You know what I
million
mean?
listening to yours.
And so I'm excited about that. Somebody else who hasn't chimed in, Ananiah, what you got?
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. So, hey, Pop, I was right. Will said something earlier about the good life. When I first came home, I was in the car with Will, and one of the things Will said to me, and I remember this because it's very important, and I carry it with me today. He said that the good life, man, it's slow. It's not a lot of things going on all the time. Like you can't be every place every time and stuff like that. The good life is relaxed, it's even, it's slow, it's beautiful. Just take your time. You're not gonna be able to do everything that you might have in the forefront of your mind immediately.
Right.
But if you pace yourself, you do it the right way. That's the good life. You know,
Right.
don't allow yourself to get over anxious because you wasn't able to do a thing or go a place or see someone. Just take your time, focus on the things in front of you that you are capable of getting done, getting accomplished, and that's what the good life is. And I think that's very important during this time because having been isolated, you know what I mean? You really, really, really gotta tap into that thing that you tapped into when you was behind them bars, that patience that you tapped into, knowing that it's gonna get better on the other side. Just do the things that you can do to prepare yourself for when it's time to open up them doors and you ready to move forward in that positive way. That's what you do with your time right now. Because that is included in the good life.
Yeah, that's good. Wow, wow, what a story.
I hope you guys heard me because I wasn't sure if this microphone was working.
That's working, man. That
It's
was
working.
beautiful, brother. That was beautiful. You know
Oh
what
yeah, yeah.
what I was quick
Good
thinking.
people.
What I want to add to that is, and Will, that was good commentary. One of these days I'm gonna take you back and tell you the stories about when Will first came out, and
I
you
see
know,
them smiling up there.
and what that was. You know what I mean? And you know, we had there was some fires burning. Yes, yes. We had to
Yeah.
go through some fires.
But the
But you
things
know
that he
what?
experienced,
Uh, right, and he was
he was
speaking
able
to
to,
you
yeah,
from that, absolutely, and I
yeah,
gathered that, and you know, we had to go through some stuff, man. But you know, dear God, man, I love it right now, and it's
yeah.
getting better. This ain't it. I mean, more to come.
Yeah, that's right.
But listen, what I want to tell you why you said that. I just got word that uh, Maurice Graham, the professor, was going to be released early. He should be home in the next 30 days or so. And I'd already told you about uh, um, um, Daryl Webb, Dr.
Yeah,
Daryl Webb, who's now a doctor of theology. Dr. Daryl Webb is going to be coming home. He's supposed to be coming to the Pop House. We don't have any more room over at the house to put Maurice in, the professor. So, I mean, just to Jim's point, I mean, I'm struggling with that because there was some guys that were so strong that put the housing piece on our hearts
yeah,
so that there was a place for you to come to. Will never had to come, but it was there. You get what I mean? And to have it there, it takes away some guesswork.
yeah.
You get it? But so right now we're full and don't have enough room to even take another guy, you know. And so, James, I'm up here thinking about, do I want to try? My wife wants to get another house, you
Right.
know, and I mean I get that, and I'm all right with that. And we have been looking at some places and this and that before all of the COVID came, and even just lately too. But um, you know, we got 4 mortgages already. You get what I mean? And
Yeah,
so,
it's a lot.
and so that COVID-19 piece, boy, that hit a lick.
Yeah.
And we look, I mean, we had to lay off everybody.
Yeah.
Now, you know, we were able now to bring everybody back and this and that who's supposed to be here. Well, man, it was a tough go. But now I'm kind of saying maybe let's put our own thing on hold and buy another rental property, you know, so that we can accommodate our own.
Yeah.
That's right.
Now I want you to know something. What we do over here, we only messing with ex-offenders. DOC don't pay nothing. They haven't spent a dime on what we did in the last year. Not one dime. And we have not stopped nothing.
Right.
As a matter of fact, we have intensified something, right? And we the ones out here testing our whole population. Oh, don't start me up. I'm gonna stop right there. My point
You
though
on
is
the road, Pop. You on the road.
my point is that there's a lot of opportunities now going over here to Emmett. Emmett needs a place, and really
It needs a place.
Emmett needs somewhere to go. I can't take you at the Pop House because we don't have no room, and 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 you know, then you would also have to get into some obedience and some rule breaking, some rule of being obedient to a few. We don't have a lot of rules. There's just a few, but you got to get with that stuff, man, and start living your life like you're a child. We got jobs over here coming out the gazoo, and you won't even come over here, you know. And you can be mad if you want to. You won't even come over here. You know, people get shamed. You get shamed to come here. Nate is ashamed to come to group. Emmett is ashamed to show his face because you got a
No, sir,
fire
Pop.
burning as if somehow you were the only one that ever had a fire.
Okay. All right.
So,
You know.
I
So
know.
anyway, I'm gonna ask Wayne to call Emmett or Emmett to call Wayne and see if Wayne can help you out with this with Freedom Works over there as a possible place for you to get to um, in your emergency situation. But man, you should have been over here a long time ago, man. Not letting this fire get so bright that it puts you out of your own house, man. Come on, man.
Right.
That's the reason why you're back here right now, this very second, is because there might be some help here. But what makes it you know it now, but you didn't know it before?
I knew it before.
But
I just try to do it on my own. And I have a bad habit with that.
oh, wait a minute. Has anybody out there got that habit? Wave at me now.
Yep.
Wave at your boy.
Yeah.
Come on now.
It
So, I
didn't
mean,
work.
you're getting too old for that, man. Nobody can kill the dragon by themselves. The dragon is a fire breather. And if you
I'm
think
knowing
you
that
can kill
now.
the dragon all by yourself, you are a fool. Don't be mad at me. I'm just trying to say this corporately to everybody.
Listen, I'm a
That's right.
prime example of that. My brother's a dead man walking because he's trying to fight his addiction by himself. He convinced that there's nothing wrong with him. Every day for 5 years he been here, every day I call him drunk. 24 round of 7, drunk. The man called me at 7:43 in the morning, pissy, sloppy, drunk. And I said, how did you do it? I said, have you ate anything? And I said, listen, let's get you some treatment. He said, ain't nothing wrong with me. I said, I'm going to send you the link to get in group to network with the brothers. He said, oh, whatever, man. I'll see like it. I don't know how to do that. He trying to solve the problem on his own, which in actuality, he's a dead man walking. Sad to say it.
Well,
That's
I'm gonna
the
tell you
reality
something,
of
man.
it.
There's Henry got a hole in his soul. It's real big, and somehow only love can bring him back through it. But I don't know the answer for it. I don't know what it is. But I appreciate you, just sharing. And so, Emmett, when the meeting is over, then I'm gonna have you to call Wayne, and I'll see if Wayne can help you think through. Um, what about you? Do you have a girlfriend, or did you run your girlfriend off?
Nah, I still got my girlfriend. We going on 2.5 years.
So then, can you go to her house, or she got to get out too?
Nah, the she's in an apartment over northeast. She's in one of them sober living apartments.
So she can't have you over there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Hey, Emmett, go to the Exodus. They'll take
The
you.
Burnt
Exodus.
down.
Yep. All you got to do is file a GHR grant. They'll take you in a heartbeat.
Exodus
Oh,
Exodus is downtown Minneapolis. It's still
oh,
there, and
Yep.
oh.
I don't know the process for getting in it. Exodus housing. Um, it's worth a call anyway. That's a good tip. It's
I
worth
know
a
the
call.
housing director. Call
Each
me.
person has their own little apartment, but then you share a bathroom.
Yep.
Like it's a big bathroom, like a gymnasium type bathroom with showers and everything like this here.
Yep.
But then you go into your own apartment and you got your own little apartment, just don't have no bathroom in it.
Right. They shared everything. I lived
Um,
there for a while, for a
Oh.
minute.
and
It was
you can you
nice.
does it got a stove in it?
No, yeah, it's shared everything, but you got some of the rooms is alone. Some of them you got a room by yourself. I had
Yeah.
a room by myself, air conditioning, had a little TV. I was
Anyway,
cool.
and
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
also I want you to call back and talk with Wayne. Sherrod, I'm looking for you, man, to come in with the new t-shirts. On this Thursday night, I could use some help, some volunteer help. 7 to 9, we're going to pack up bags of food that we're going to give away and distribute to the senior citizens right here in this building on Sunday from 10 until 2. Geronimo is going to have a refrigerated truck. We'll have that stuff all prepared. The church is involved. The senior resident council is involved. I'd like all pop guys to be on deck. Um, Even if you're not, if we got more hands than we need, that's okay. We can kind of come back into the office here and just fellowship amongst ourselves. Wear your T-shirt if you have it. If you have a pop T-shirt, wear that. We may have Sherrod may have the new replacement T-shirt, which is in color, has the emblem in color. I have five X's, four X, three X, a lot of extra larges, and maybe one or two large. That should
I
cover
need a large.
everybody. And Tim, I'll hold one back for you. You don't have to be in line for it. I'm gonna be in line for you. And your T-shirt is automatic. And I just want y'all to know, I ain't got nothing but love for you. I ain't trying to hurt you. I'm not against you. I'm just trying to help you and to say something that might help you see your own situation in a way that makes it winnable for you. So what I want to do is pledge us out of here real fast.
Pop.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, this Nate Walker, right?
Go ahead, Nate.
Nate.
Yeah, what's going on, Larry? So
Okay.
y'all, I have been smoking and drinking.
Damn.
Right.
That's right.
So
That's right.
I think that's what you were talking about, Pop. That's where you wanted me to go to.
Stop right there. Give him a hand. Give him a hand. Give him some love. Give him some love
Nate.
right there.
Nate.
Give him some love.
And let's go with this battle, right? I was doing a lot of moving around when I was talking to you. But this battle is as far as me doing the interview for Pop, right? You got the Pop interview.
Yeah.
Follow me?
I follow you.
At that point when I was getting asked to do the interview from Pierre, which is a very straight shooter. He's on point. He's direct, like we talked yesterday. And every time he called me, I was like, yeah, I'll do it, wanting to do it. But in the inside of my spirit was telling me, maybe you're not ready right now because you smoking and drinking, and that wasn't how you started Pop. So maybe you're not the model Pop guy right now to be doing that. And that's what I was battling with. But I also came to the term that regardless if I am smoking and drinking, that doesn't make me a bad person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm making great decisions still. You know what I mean? I just fell back into what I used to do as far as smoking and drinking. Mm-hmm. Right. Wait, I didn't hear what you said. Say that again.
No, I said you're just a little sick right now, but we can get through that.
Yeah. And at the moment, I'm in. I don't really like smoking weed. I thought I liked it, but I really don't. And if I did, I would still do it. But right now, I don't like the paranoid feeling. Anyway, that's what I'm doing now. I wanted to let you all know. Like I said, I told Pop and I told some of the guys on the outside of the group, but it's important as Pop. I hear you stressing it, and for the integrity to come forth and tell you guys where I am now.
Nate, all right.
Yeah, prayer, Nate. I got 10 prayer.
I'm gonna let a couple people give us some feedback. Go ahead. Ananiah, Will, Lolita, Dex. Go ahead.
You know what? Right, you're right. Or that doesn't make you a bad person, man. You know what I'm saying? I would just say to you that focus on what is more important to you. Because a simple mistake like a simple accident at work or something like that, right? And they do a test on you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it may have actually been an accident that wasn't your fault, right? But because it happened at work, they have to test you, see if you're under the influence. And when they test you, it takes away any kind of relief that you possibly can get because you're going to be found under influence. You're going to have that stuff in your system. Now, I'm not saying that because that can happen. That can happen. But what I'm saying is, it's like everything that you work for right now, man, leaves, sugar, you're too strong for those things. You're too strong for fire. You're too strong for leaves. You're too strong for sugar. Those things should not take you over. You understand what I'm saying, brother?
Mm-hmm.
You're too strong for. We
Yes.
are too strong for those things. The grapes, the leaf, and the sugar. Do you remember that?
Man.
Do you remember that teaching? Anybody? The grape, the leaf, and the sugar. See, the
Yeah.
grape the grape is the nature of it is changed by man when he decides to add sugar, yeast, and fire to it.
Right.
It releases its spirit, and it's not a nice spirit once it get a hold on you. Marijuana is a naturally occurring thing. It just grows out in the wild, but people have, in their intelligence, cultivated it, and they put fire to it and smoke it, and it releases a spirit, and you inhale that spirit, right? Sugar is just used to make that wine, make that liquor. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so all of these things are just substances. We are human beings. We are stronger than those things. Don't let
Wow.
you can never let those things overcome you.
Yes,
And that's
sir.
all I wanted to say. Just remember that the grape, the leaf, and the sugar.
Yeah, that's good teaching, boy.
Thank
Boy,
you.
you done,
I like
boy, that's
that.
good, boy. You done took me back to up here. You done took me back to 91 or something like that. You know what I mean? But
Thank you.
yeah, somebody else who was next. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Will.
yeah, brother. This is Willie. How you doing, Nate?
All right.
Hey, bro. First, I want to say, man, I love you, man. You
Yeah.
know,
Love you too, bro.
uh, you already know that, man. I got mad love for you and your family. You know what I'm saying? Everybody. And
Mm-hmm.
and I love seeing you, your wife, Tiffany. Your kid. Every time y'all come through there, man. We all of us love seeing you, man. It's just
Right.
something about seeing you puts a smile on everybody's face. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
You know,
Right.
we all know how far you come, and every time you come, it's like it just reminds us why we come. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because we know how far you come. You know. Hey, hold on to what Adonaiah is saying, man, because what he's saying is that that spirit, how you feeling now, man, is not who you are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the only
Mm-hmm.
way you can succumb to that if you take that in. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Um, hey, hey, bro, um, I've stumbled. I've stumbled several times, man. But the the thing about stumbling though is that every time you stumble, it just lets you know it's something that's off balance. You know what I'm saying? That you got to correct. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Yep.
And and Pops, man, he told us, he tell us, he been telling us this for years that we don't drown because we fall in the water. We drown because we stay there.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
so Nate, it's just a stumble, but you're valuable, lovable, powerful, and important.
Yeah.
And that's not who you are. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? It's okay to go through that as long as you learn from that and just move on, man, because that's not who you are.
Mm. That's good, boy. That's real good, brother. I love it. I love it. Um, um,
I have something to say if
go
I
ahead. We'll
can,
go.
really quick.
We'll go then.
Okay, well, brother Nate, this is Rhea. This is Shay's sister Rhea. And after all that you heard, and my brother put a lot into what he was saying to you. After all that you heard, you said, "Yeah, I'm smoking and I'm drinking, but that doesn't make me a bad. But I'm not a bad person. But smoking and drinking can make you to have the potential to be a bad person because you're out of your own nature. You're
Mm.
not you're not yourself no more. The chemical is taking over your life. And even though you're not a bad person, the chemical will make you do things that bad people do.
Woo.
So
Yeah, that was good right
That's
there.
good. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah, well.
Mhm. And Dexter, what you got?
Oh man, what's up, Nate?
Thank you.
I love you, brother.
What's going
No,
on? Love you too, Dex.
I'm just looking at the situation. I've been through the same thing, going, but like I'm looking at this is not you. You know, you're going out there looking for that fun or that happiness, that relief. The relief is coming to the pop group, you know, like you used to do. You know, you got to find your balance back in the group. Cause I tried all that foolishness, trying to be happy or trying to depress and all that. You know, don't none of that work. You know, you got to come back home. You know, home is pop group.
That's good. And then
Yes.
let me add on to this. You know what? A cocktail is always to try to make you feel different, right? It's to make you
Mm-hmm.
feel different than you feel right now. Say feel different,
Feel
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 different.
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 Feel different.
right? And sometimes feel different is recreational, and then sometimes though feel different is situational.
Right.
Mm.
And there is something about your situation that you're uncomfortable with that causes you to desire feel different, and that you are really running away from something, escaping from something in your domestic relationship that you want to feel different about. I don't know what that is, right? But I think you do. And I think you know exactly why you've stumbled back, as Will said, to alcohol and weed, is because you want to feel different. My question though is, what is bothering you so bad that you need to escape to feel different from? Don't try to answer. It's a rhetorical question. Tim, do you have any feedback for Nate?
I got some.
Just 1 second.
When you do go to a bad place, you are trying to escape from something, and that's what Kane is saying. So I did that a lot of times. I would escape into gaming. I would escape into different things that weren't right. They like Rita says, they made me do things that I should never have done, and therefore, when you are going and finding things that making you escape like that, you need to have someone just to talk to, have someone to open up to, and someone you can trust that can speak life into you.
Yeah,
Don't
That's
do this on your
yeah.
own. That's
that's
all I can
good.
say. Just don't do it on your own. Just like Dexter needs to reach out to people to get healthy.
Tim,
Um,
that's
I
good,
mean,
boy.
what is that? Who's that guy? Emmett needs to reach out to get housing. I'm sorry, Emmett. Needs to reach out to get housing, and you need to reach out. Right here, I'm just part of this group and reaching out because that's the start. You don't want to keep on going down that path because that path. My mom and dad both got to be alcoholics, and it's not a good path.
Woo!
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Come on,
No,
Tim.
it's not.
Lolita, you got something?
Mm-hmm.
Well, ain't no
Thank you.
smoke without fire,
Mm,
right? So we had to go back to the reading, the all consuming fire. If you open your heart and your mind up, and everybody that's a Christian, you might just hear all of us talk about, God, this, but hey, I was the queen of fire,
mm,
okay? And I had to find the real fire, the all consuming fire,
mm.
to get my mind right.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he had to
yeah.
get my mind right. And when I kept my mind stayed on him, it
Mm,
keeps me. That's what keeps me.
mm. Boy,
That's right.
boy, that's good right there.
I I,
Um,
I got I
Wait a
got
minute, hold on, Tony. Tony, hold it 1 second, because I think Montez is on the
Yeah,
phone. Montez, are you
I'm on
there?
the phone. Yeah, I'm on the phone.
Go ahead, man.
So
And Tony,
I,
then I'm coming to you. Montez, go.
yeah.
I think that the goal for us is to all become our genuine self here, And I think about like I smoked weed throughout my whole life since 12 to the time I was 33 or somewhere around there in between that time frame. And I know that when I smoked weed, it made me content, and it also kept me from following through on my dreams. I stopped being a dreamer when I smoked weed because I stood in the same place. I stood stagnant, and yeah, I wanted this, I wanted that, but there was no motivation to follow through. So
Right.
smoking weed for me, is one of those things that kills dreams, and
That's right.
without marijuana in my life, I mean,
I'm motivated. I have dreams. I want more. You know, I get involved in the community. You know, I do different things because that's my genuine self. You know, and the whole time when I was smoking weed, I just was happy with running with, you know, gangbangers, you know, being involved in that life. Once in a while it made me creative and I thought I could do this or I thought I could do that. However, that was a temporary feeling. Most of the time it left me lazy. It kept me in dead end jobs. It kept me around the same people. You know, nothing stopped it.
Yeah.
You know, for the alcohol use, you know, I can't really touch on that too much. I'm not really a drinker, never have been. However, I did things like think I could drive, you know, while I was drinking. That didn't get me nowhere either. So it makes me think I can do things I can't, where the weed makes me just not to do nothing at all, you know. So anyway, back to what everybody else touched on, I think the goal is to be our genuine self. And I don't see how that gets anybody anywhere, and that's no judgment at all. But you know, the rhetorical question, you know, what fits in your life, what doesn't, what makes you more closer to somebody you're not, what makes you more closer to somebody that you genuinely are, and those are all questions that we all have to ask ourselves, you know. But you know, much luck to you, much, you know, love to you. I hope that you know, ask yourself some questions on your own time. Talk about it more with people that can support you, and just know that you're not alone in the situation. However, you know, there is more out there for you, you know, and I know because I know that for myself. I believe that because I believe that for myself, and I believe that for you.
I love you.
Thank you.
Hey, Monsays, that was great, man. Everybody's feedback is so great. Tony got something, and then we're going to close out.
Well, brother, man, you know one of the most victorious athletes known to man made this quote. He said, "In order to succeed, you must fail." So I've been clean for 20 years, but I've been fortunate I haven't relapsed. But that's part of the process, brother, to be clean. So keep your eyes on the prize and you will never fail. And call me if you need somebody to talk to, if you have a desire. We can go have a tropical orange juice or whatever. I will drive to this man's land and come and pick you up, brother.
Hey,
That's
that
love.
boy is telling the truth. He just ain't got no
I
oranges.
know.
But you know, that's another story. But hey, let me tell you this, Tony, that was good feedback, and everybody's feedback was so great. And it's
Yes, it
just some
was.
loving, Nate. We're just trying to give you some love, man. Um, take take that from me, from the biggest drinker, smoker, dope doing so and so that you could ever meet. That's me. And brother, I spent my days getting high in the morning and stayed that way
All day.
indefinitely. And you know what I mean? But
Uh-huh.
but I was running away from something. And the something that I was running away from is the thing that I'm doing right now.
Wow.
Right.
Oh, wow.
And
That's
so,
right.
so the whole time he was going to put me on a trajectory that would lead me back into the penitentiary to put out the burning bush. But I couldn't,
Come
I
on now.
couldn't put it out while I still lit it up inside of my own heart. And so he protected the vision away from me and kept all of y'all out of my sight and out of my reach until he could shake everything loose out of me and give me the opportunity then to take the stick and go after his sons. And that's what I have done. And the reason why you're listening to my voice right now is because of what these guys are saying to you. It really works.
Yeah, it does.
Somebody
It's
say,
true.
I will.
I
I
will.
It's
I
will
true.
will. I will.
Balance my family values
Balance
balance
my
my
Balance
Well,
family
my
family
my
family
values
family
values
values
value
with my goals.
with my
with
goals.
my
With my
goals.
goals.
I will
I
I
I
I
will
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 exercise wisdom
exercise
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 wisdom
wisdom,
wisdom
what I choose to eat,
when I
what I
choose
what
choose
I
to
to
eat,
choose
eat,
to eat,
read,
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 and do.
and
and
do.
do.
and do.
And I'm just going to throw something in here. You know, it might be every now and then you might have to go to outpatient treatment and get a tune-up. Somebody say a tune-up.
A
a
tune
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 up.
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 Tune
Tune up.
up.
Do you know how sometimes, you know, your car could be running really well and everything seems fine, Will, but you'll come to a point where your automobile needs a tune-up. Say a tune-up.
A
A
tune
tune
A
up.
up.
tune
Tune up.
up.
And Nate has accomplished a few things. He satisfied his parole contract and did all of his various treatments and what have you,
Yeah, he did.
and became a free man and a voting man. But it could be, Nate, that it's time for you to get a tune-up, man, and don't be acting arrogant like you too big to get tuned up. It may be that you have to submit to a little aftercare and a little treatment that'll help you pull yourself back together. Get your druthers about yourself.
Wow.
Somebody
Call
say,
me,
I
Nate.
will.
I'll go to group
I
with you.
will.
I'll go with you.
I will.
Strive to make all relationships
Strive to make all relationships
relationships.
win-win
Win-win.
or no deal.
A no deal.
Just want you to think about what you just said, especially the relationship with yourself. I will.
Yeah.
I will.
Under every circumstance.
Under every circumstance.
Maintain a positive attitude.
Maintain a positive attitude.
I will.
I will.
Enjoy my life.
Enjoy my life.
With a sense of humor.
With the sense of humor.
While taking advantage of opportunities.
While taking advantage of opportunities.
And learning from
and
my
learning.
And that was Will's message earlier, and it was really a good one. That we don't drown because we fall in. We drown when we don't learn from it, and we stay there. Keep going.
Right.
I will.
I will.
Act upon circumstances.
Act upon circumstances.
Rather than have them act upon me.
Rather than have them act upon me.
I will.
I will.
On a daily basis.
On a daily basis.
Be proactive with my goals.
Be proactive with my goals.
I will.
I will.
Always protect my wisdom.
Always protect my wisdom.
My health.
My health.
And my happiness.
And my happiness.
Hey, don't you know bad things can happen to good people?
Yeah.
Watch this. I will.
I will.
Stay principle-centered.
Stay principle-centered.
And maintain a positive circle of influence.
And maintain a positive circle of influence.
I will.
I will.
Daily learn.
Daily learn.
Commit. And do. I will.
I will.
Act according to the POP Leadership Institute.
Act according to the POP
Institute. And be productive in my community.
And be productive in my community.
And my private life.
And my private life.
I want to remind you of this. This Thursday, I need you to meet with me right over at Pop One, or even right here at the office at 6:30, between 6:30 and 6:45, for those people who are going to volunteer to pack bags that we're then going to give out on Sunday. On Thursday, we're going to put the dry goods in. On Sunday, we're going to put the meat, chicken, beef, and eggs, no pork. And then we're going to distribute those bags to the community right next door in the high rise of 235 apartments that are in that high rise. So I need to see you there on Thursday if you can be there. Sunday, absolutely. I also want to be able to take a couple of photos of the new t-shirts. Sherrod, I'm looking for you to come through, and your check will be over here when you get here. I got nothing but love for y'all. You too, Nate.
You too, Pop.
We love you, Nate.
Pops, I can be there Sunday.
I love y'all too, man.
I see y'all.
I can be there Sunday, Pops.
Then come on and be here Sunday. I'll talk to you
1
later.
o'clock. Okay.
Hey,
I
Emmett,
call y'all, man.
that's Emmett.
You brothers give me a call, too.
Go ahead.
Nate, I love you, man.